Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Ringo TV Reactions. I'm your host, Ringo. We're back again with another live stream, continuing on our conversation about Stefan Twitch Boss. Yeah, that's right. This particular stream features Geto Boy's Willie D. And we're gonna react to what he had to say in regards to the case. At the same time, he's going to go into a lot of details that pretty much I agree with. And it just goes to show that other people are seeing the light. And we need more people to actually see the light so that they can put the puzzle together to find out what really happened in this case. Never before have I seen someone basically get deleted and for whatever reason the wife is not investigated. Like, that doesn't even make any sense. You know, if any of you guys are in a relationship with a woman and for some odd reason she's found somewhere deleted, the police is going to be looking for you just to question you, find out what's going on, see if everything is good. And they're gonna question the kids. They're gonna do their due diligence to find out what went down. And I'm just not understanding how a wife, after her husband cancels himself allegedly, that she's not alarmed by that. So let's take a listen in to what Willie D has to say, kind of break this thing down, hear what he's got to say, and see where he's coming from, and it can kind of make sense of this and have this discussion. Because if we don't keep this alive, if we don't keep this conversation going, this cover-up is going to be successful. But as long as people are talking about it and keep it alive, it may get picked up by someone. The case may get reopened, because it's just not making any sense. And I don't see why she's being protected. That means that she must have did some real dirt. And they said, look, we got you. You're okay. You don't got to worry about nothing. See? And this is why it's good that we have various voices on social media that can cover these cases, because a lot of things will get brushed under the rug. So, again, Willie D, he did a video the other day. I did a little editing to make it transformative in nature. But this video is pretty much on his platform. And he had some interesting things to say. And he was concerned that he was going to offend people because of his position in terms of what he believed. And it's just sad that, you know, you can't even speak your opinion, right, without being concerned that other people are going to be offended. Like, what kind of world we live in? And this just goes to show how when you speak the truth, people will take sides. Why? Because society has accepted that Twitch deleted himself. But anyway, let's get into this thing. Let's break this thing down. If you're joining in the stream, be sure to click the like button one time. As soon as you walk in, you already done know the drill. We provide you the best reactionary videos on YouTube. Nobody else does a better job. Let's get into the video, find out what he got to say. Let's go.
I know that a lot of people are still grieving DJ Twitch's death. And he has family and friends who love him dearly, who might be offended about what I'm about to say. Now, it ain't my job to go around trying to offend people. So while I may have empathy for the loss of a loved one, I'm not buying this narrative.
I'm glad he's not, because I'm not. And I'm sure most of you're not. And see, we need more people with platforms that are going to actually say the same thing. Because a lot of YouTubers, they're just delusional. A lot of YouTubers are going with the get along gang of thinking that, you know, we all need to check in on one another and all of this nonsense. You know, it's real crazy out here. You know, it's like you're not allowed to think outside the box. The minute you, I guess, critique the narrative or speak your piece, you're looked upon as somebody that's being disrespectful to the family. You're not allowing them to mourn. You're accused of everything negative, right? But if I go along with the get along gang, everybody likes me. For some odd reason, they all love me now, right? So let's get back into this.
That they're trying to spin about the manner in which DJ Twitch died. For starters, the wife says he left the house for the first time without taking his car.
Right.
He never does that.
Mm-hmm.
His body is found a mile away at a seedy hotel. This is a rich guy checking into a seedy hotel to allegedly off himself.
Right.
They find the body the next day, although there was no reports of anyone hearing a gunshot.
Highly suspect that you can be in a motel and nobody hears anything. Doesn't sound normal, right? Doesn't even make any logical sense, but let's go.
The maid finds the body.
Now listen to this part, fam, because we talked about this in our past streams. At the same time, it's good that the brother can see things also. Now listen carefully to what he say, because in the first initial stories, this is what was released to the public. Listen.
Contacts the manager. The manager and the maid says there was no visible sign of blood.
Now think about that. This was the first initial story that came out into the public, that the housekeeper, maid, whoever in the motel, they gained entry to the room. And when they discovered the body, the report mentioned that there was no sign of blood. Now you let that marinate for a second. Let it make sense to you. Now, how does a man have a self-inflicted wound to his head and for whatever reason, the housekeeping folks don't see nothing? But then later on down the road, we see other stories pop up out of the blue claiming that the bathroom was a mess. Two different stories, ladies and gentlemen.
Even though he was reportedly shot in the head.
Right.
They also didn't see any visible sign of a note, which the authorities said he left that included some ambiguous language about his past challenges.
Which is very interesting. When the housekeeping folks came into the room, there was no note. But then later on down the road, they're telling us that, hey, we found a note. See, they added to the story because they realized that people are just not going to buy it. But even this note, they haven't showed us a photo of this note up to now. Where's the photo of the note? No photo. You see what I'm saying? Normally when there is evidence of something, they'll show us the facts. They haven't showed us nothing. They just told us and shared what they think it is, even though they don't even know what they're talking about, because they said that Twitch was alluding to past struggles and challenges, but they never told us what these past struggles and challenges are. So how do we know they're telling the truth? In the initial story, it was said that he just went to a motel half a mile away from his house. Then later on, they saying that, hey, he took an Uber to the motel. See how they added on to the story? Because it doesn't make sense to leave your car at home and walk half a mile. You're not going to walk half a mile. Because I already did the Google map run from their place of residence to the motel. You just can't walk there. So we know he didn't walk there. And when I talked about that in my video, the next day, ladies and gentlemen, TMZ released a story claiming that, hey, he took an Uber to the motel. And I was like, wow, you guys must be watching my videos. You got to be watching my videos, because I made perfect sense. I was like, wait a minute. I already did a Google map of the place, but I didn't want to put their house, on YouTube with their address and everything, even though any one of you can find it. It's pretty much easy. I can find anybody in the world if I want to. The point is, I didn't want to do that for their privacy. So I did a little walk from their location through Google Map to the motel. And it's a long distance, and you're just not going to get there by walking. I mean, you can try, but why would anybody do that if their plan is to delete themselves? And if he took said Uber, why the wife didn't report that to the police, and why she took her time and decided to wait the next day to do all the reporting, which means she was with the kids for the whole morning, all the way to the night. And she never called her folks. She never called his brother. She never called tWitch's mother. She never called nobody. She kept it on the low. She ain't called no friends in Hollywood, nobody. Because you would think that a wife would know who her husband's friends are, to at least ask, is he with you? These are normal things that a wife does. A wife would hit up his friends, but like, is tWitch with you? Nah, we haven't seen him. What's going on? Well, he left out this morning. I don't know. She ain't give nobody no info. You know why? Because during that time, it's most likely she may have allegedly been a part of the cover-up in terms of being there when everything transpired. You never know how these things play out. Let's get back to the video.
The next day, he dies on December 13th. The next day, December 14th, the wife, Allison, sends a message out over the internet, on social media. And these are her words. It is with the heaviest of hearts that I have to share my husband, Stephen, has left us. Stephen lit up every room he stepped into. He valued family, friends, and community above all else, and leading with love and light was everything to him. He was the backbone of our family, the best husband and father, and an inspiration to his fans. To say he left a legacy would be an understatement, and his positive impact will continue to be felt. I am certain there won't be a day that goes by that we won't honor his memory. We ask for privacy during this difficult time for myself and especially for our 3 children. Stephen, we love you, we miss you, and I will always save the last dance for you.
Wow.
Hey, sounds beautiful. Sounds
beautiful, don't it? But we all know that the wife did not write that. That is not becoming of a wife that just lost her husband. It sounds too calm. Sounds too accepting. It sounds too, like this is normal. No emotion, heartless, cold. A wife would be going hysterical. She'll be wilding out. We're talking about your husband now. We're not talking about somebody that you just kind of heard pass away. We're talking about the guy that is the father of your children. And that's all you can write? And how is it that you have time to write all of that if you're grieving? Doesn't make any sense, right? So This is why when people tell me stuff like, Ringo, you know, the wife is grieving, leave her alone. First of all, I'm not bothering the wife. I'm making a video. Just like you chose to come over here. Well, guess what? Every last one of you made the choice to come over here. You don't have to listen to me. You can go watch another stream. You chose to listen to me because for whatever reason, you looked at the title, either you're familiar with my work and you're just interested in what I got to say. Well, I have that right to speak my thoughts and my opinions regarding the case, just like everybody else, just like the news media have the right and the privilege to put the news out there about the story. Well, I got the same right. I don't got to believe what TMZ write. I don't got to believe what the news media put out. I got a brain. I have consciousness. I'm able to see and think and discern. I have the ability and the wisdom to decipher when something is true or false. And based on the narrative given to us and the facts that Twitch was a certain type of guy that had a lot of things going for himself, a lot of opportunities, he had kids that needed him, it wouldn't be kosher for said man to delete himself knowing that his children need him, his wife would need him. He have opportunities and different things that's in the works. It wouldn't make any sense to do such a thing. The wife is too calm. It's almost as if though she's happy that he's gone. Let's get back to the video. We'll share more later.
But what happened to
Here we go.
the police investigating the wife first?
There you go.
Anytime someone is killed
Okay.
who is married, or even if they're not married, if they're in a relationship, the first suspect is always the surviving spouse.
There you go.
Why is there no reports of the police having a conversation with her?
Right.
And saying that, hey, yeah, we're looking into it. Yeah, wife is a suspect.
Mm-hmm.
Now, perhaps she is a suspect. Perhaps they got something going on in the quiet that we don't know about. But this suicide is just too nicely wrapped up and bowed on top.
That's exactly it. It's like it's wrapped up with a bow tie, looking real nice, you know, like a decorated cake. It just doesn't make any sense. But this is what they want you to believe, ladies and gentlemen. This doesn't even make any logical sense. Under normal circumstances, we see this happen all the time in the public. Whenever there's a domestic issue between a man and a woman, even if the man is innocent, even if the woman is innocent, if somebody was deleted, the police is going to talk to their partner. And they're going to put the puzzle together. And if it's found that there's some foul play, or if things just don't add up, they're going to bring that person down to the precinct. They're going to tell them, look, do not leave the country. We are going to investigate this situation. And if they find, clues that can pin the circumstance that happened on the surviving mate, best believe it's going to be some serious charges coming down on them. So why the wife is being protected at this point, and why nobody is focusing in on her?
It's just too nicely. It just fits too perfectly.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
There is like no conversation at any point with the wife being shocked that he would do something like this. Like, I can't believe it. He was such a loving husband, his father. I don't know what to think. Something's wrong here.
See, the point that he's making right there is what I've been saying all along. You don't see the wife naturally going through the emotions of when there's a loss. Look at it like this, ladies, those of you out there that have children, right? Let's say you have a situation where one of your children may have been playing in the playground and fell off the swing or the slide and bumped their head on the floor. You go crazy. As soon as that happened, you rush. You're like, are you okay? You know, what happened? Who did it? You display the proper kind of emotions that a mom should exhibit when her child is in danger, right? So now factor that point in. Your husband is found in a motel deleted. And all you can do is say, hey, you know, we'll save the last dance for you. Does that make any sense? Doesn't sound much like a wife that cares. Sounds like somebody else wrote the letter and tucked the wife somewhere safe so that the public don't hold her accountable for anything. That's what it sounds like to me when you really think about it, right? Let's get back into the broadcast and hear what Willie D got to say. Let's go.
I don't think this was a suicide. I don't think it was a suicide. I think the man was murdered.
There you go. You're right. You're right, Willie. He was murdered. That's right. At the same time, the public has been conditioned because, remember, as a people, we are indoctrinated to believe lies through the tell-lie vision. Do you understand? The tell-lie vision is responsible for giving us certain narratives about different scenarios that may have transpired in life, and we tend to believe them because they play over and over and over and over until it becomes a part of us. And we're taught to be sympathetic to the families because they're grieving. This is typical that we see all over the place. When Takeoff was deleted at the bowling alley and I began to question Quavo and various other people, what did the folks do? They told me, stop hating. He's grieving. Leave him alone. You can't blame him. And I'm like, look, family will do dirt to you. I told y'all this. Y'all think this is the game. So you gave Quavo the pass, but now everybody want to question the wife. Let's make this sense. You want to question the wife in tWitch situation, right? But when it comes to the situation with Takeoff, you don't want to question Quavo, right? Because you just don't think that the uncle could be a part of a cover-up to harm his own nephew. You don't think that money and greed can make someone do these kind of things. I told you already that the industry is satanic. A lot of you don't want to listen. Unfortunately, some of you are going to have to learn the hard way. So in the case here, Willie D is basically saying, look, I don't believe the narrative. I'm not going to go with that. I think that the brother was deleted by someone. Somebody's responsible for this, and we need to find out who did it. You know, we just can't brush this one under the rug. And there are a lot of influential men that are on social media that from time to time they speak out and they speak the truth. I don't agree with everything everybody say. At the same time, I gotta agree with what Willie is saying here because I've been saying this since day one. I told everybody, what did I tell you all? I said, look, I'm not gonna be quick to rush to judgment to the wife because it's too early. But I said, hey, let a few days go by and we're gonna start to open up the information and break things down, and before you know it, things are going to start to make sense because you're going to notice that the wife is not doing certain natural things that a wife should do. She should be going crazy. She should be screaming. She should be on the news saying, look, I want an internal investigation. I need the cameras. I need to see this. I'm going down to the hotel. I need answers. Not my husband. He would never do such a thing. My husband would never do such a thing. This is how she's supposed to be going on as a wife. But she's not doing it. Why? Because based on what I'm seeing, she allegedly didn't want Twitch anymore. She wanted to go do her own thing. Somebody said, how could you say that, Ringo? You're wrong. You listen, you can't even tell me I'm wrong because the burden of the proof is on you to prove me wrong. I can speak my mind and voice my thoughts. I'm telling you based on life experience on what a woman would do. And based on the love that a mother has for her child, I don't see that type of love in terms of a wife towards her husband at this point. I don't see it. She's quiet. She's not emotional about the situation. She's not pushing for an investigation. She ain't asked about, hey, I want to see the camera footage from the hotel. There's no information about Twitch even being seen other than what they told us. How do we know that's true? Ladies and gentlemen, how do we know it's true that Twitch even entered that hotel room? How do we know that? How do we know that's true? How do we know it's true if you didn't see it? So let me get this straight. You believe that Twitch was at that hotel because TMZ said it, but you ain't see the video? Where's the video? We all know that under normal circumstances, they always show us the video. They always show us video. Why they haven't showed us video footage yet of Twitch exiting an Uber, entering the hotel, going to the front desk, getting his card to go to his room. Again, we already done made live streams about all these different issues. I showed you the inside of the hotel. I showed you the receptionist area, and we see cameras that are right there. So where is the evidence? Where is facial evidence that can prove and substantiate that Twitch walked into that hotel? Where's that information? We got none. You understand? And that's the problem that I'm seeing, and I'm trying to figure out why a lot of folks aren't speaking up about this situation. Because this brother here had a lot going for himself. We're talking about a lot of things this brother had going. He came from a struggle. At the end of the day, he made it in the industry. Yeah, he was connected to a lot of different people. At the same time, he was a father. And I'm telling you, I'm a father. I know what it's like to have children and raise children and be responsible for them. Do you understand me? When you have children, brothers, your life changes. And I'm talking about if you're a good man and you're responsible. I'm not talking about for these sorry brothers out here. I'm talking about a real man that's taking care of his family. When you're about that life, you become a different man. It's no longer about you. It's about being responsible, making sure that your children got what they need, right? And you take care of business. So I don't care how life is going. I don't care how bad it gets. All you got to do is just look at your children's faces and see them smile, and that should make up your day. I don't care how hard it was at work. I don't care if it's snowing and raining and your supervisor's on your tail. At the end of the day, when you look at your kids, it ought to motivate you and inspire you that, hey, I got to live to see my children get to the promised land. If there's anything I got to do in life, I got to make sure that they could get to the promised land. Wherever that promised land is, I got to get there and make sure that they're good to go. So you mean to tell me that a man that got 3 kids, a wife, he got money in the bank because he wasn't broke, he have opportunities, sponsorship deals, he just decided one day, hey, I don't want to be here no more. Nah, I ain't buying that nonsense. Let's get back to what Willie D got to say. Let's go.
If he did commit, where are the whys from the wife, the loving wife?
There you go. Where is it?
Look, fam, I've seen enough of these cases to know that everything that glitter ain't gold.
He's referring to the relationship. And I've taught you folks this a long time ago. This is why I'm very vocal on social media, and I don't play the lovey-dove stuff on social media, because it's nobody's business what's going on in your relationship. But a lot of times we see relationships on social media and we think, okay, they're in pictures, smiling, laughing, hugging, and it looks like, man, this is such a beautiful couple. They're just happy. And it's not true, bro. It's not true, sis. It's not real. They do that for social media. Let's go.
So often, people, when their marriage is in shambles, when their relationship is in shambles, they take to social media and they put on this big front like everything is okay. Perhaps there's some type of defense mechanism or some type of survival tool they use.
And people do that all the time. They come on social media and they front like their family is good. You know what I mean? They're happy. I mean, you see them with the kids, they smiling. But once the camera comes off and they're in their house by themselves, it's arguments all day, every day. And this is why magazines are successful at making a lot of women insecure. You can recall over the years, especially back in the day, a lot of magazines have been responsible for using a lot of Photoshop editing, where they would make a woman look super thin, make her body look very narrow. And what that done, especially during the 90s, it made a lot of women insecure, because they would look at these magazines and they would see these women looking glamorous and stylish, and all of them are physically fit. And what most people didn't realize is that they were using a lot of editing software, and they still do that to this day. And what that done is it sold the image of beauty, and it wasn't real. Because if you were to meet those very same models in person, a lot of them don't even look the way they look on that magazine cover. And that's how it is with most relationships. It look photoshopped online. Man, that's bars. Photoshop relationships. Original talking point by Ringo TV Reactions. Photoshop relationships. Relationships that have been enhanced to look a certain way in the public eye. They enhance your smile. The photographer tell you, hey, put your arm around him, do this, do that. Yeah, that'll bring out a lot of emotion in the people when they see your family. Photoshop relationships. Enhanced relationships. To give the visual illusion of love and happiness. But behind the smiles, behind the cameras, is turmoil, hurt, and a lot of misery. Let's get back to the video.
But many times, people put on this front like everything is okay.
Yep.
And the whole world is falling down all around them.
Yep.
Walls are closing in.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, it's Splitsville.
There you go.
Anytime there is a death and with someone involving someone who is in a relationship, the spouse is always considered a suspect.
Facts. Always considered a suspect. And if I can make a point with what he said regarding how you'll have a family and everybody is looking at them like, wow, this is such a beautiful couple. You know, we can use, for an example, situation with Tia Mowry and the other brother that she was with. I think his name is Corey something, I believe his name is. She wanted to file for divorce, right? Because of irreconcilable differences, because she wanted to go through some self-healing. But then when you go to her Instagrams and all these other sites, she's doing a lot of things to try to make herself look like she's trying to entice men now. You see what I mean? See, a lot of people was looking up to them as some sort of happy couple that's an example of a long-term relationship. But she severed the relationship. For what? What was the problem? And see, this is what I mean by Photoshop relationships. And what's so crazy about that is before she made her announcements, they were just recently renewing their vows and doing all this other extra stuff for the public eye. But see, they got tired of acting. And that's how it is on social media. People act and act and act, and eventually they get tired of acting. And in relationships, this is how it be. Sometimes you might have a guy and he's acting like a good guy. Or you might have a woman and she's acting feminine, acting supportive towards you. And when things don't go her way, she's going to pull the plug and she's no longer going to be that way towards you. In the case of tWitch, their relationship was an illusion. It was one of those industry relationships that they kind of put together to make the couple look powerful, which will help them to make more money, get certain deals and sponsorships. And especially when you have a black man connected to a Caucasian woman, it's going to open other doors for him. And like the other brother said in the other stream that I did, you have never seen in the history of television, music, Hollywood, you have never seen a Caucasian woman that got money, that's rich and wealthy. You have never seen not one marry a black man that's broke. Never. So Allison getting with tWitch was a business deal. Always remember that. Let's go.
Why isn't anyone considering this woman a suspect?
Why? That's the thing I've been wanting to know all this time. Why? Nobody's questioning her. Somebody said, but what if she didn't do nothing, Ringo? Then what? It's not about if she didn't do nothing or not. I don't know if she did nothing. I don't know. But the point is, I know that if I was in a situation and I'm with some young lady and for whatever reason, she's deleted at a hotel and I'm home chilling, you best believe the cops is going to be knocking the door asking me questions. They're going to want to know what was going on in our relationship. They're going to want to know what did she say. And if you look at the story with the wife, she told the police that, hey, he stormed out of the house and that's not normal. He didn't take his car. I don't know what's going on. And she went down to the police station to tell them this. She didn't call them on the phone like normal people. No. She went down to the police station to tell them in their face. And because of her words and because of how persistent she was, the police came back with her. They accompanied her back to the place of residence and they walked around the property at the house, looking at video and looking for clues to try to figure out where he went. And if y'all can recall in the story, it said that immediately there was more phone calls, 911 phone calls about somebody at a motel. How convenient that this is happening. Like right when she's talking to the police, they get another call at the precinct saying that there's a guy at a motel that fit the description. Now, how is that possible unless the wife was tipped off that, hey, go down to the police station right now, make your grievances, talk about what you feel, and then we're going to let everything play out. That way, when it hits the social medias and it hits the news, we can cover it up, protect you in the process. This doesn't make any sense. They would have been questioning her. She told the police there was no argument, there was no issues. That mean that the cops may have asked her, was there some sort of domestic issue between the two of you? Why would he storm out? Why would a man just get up in the morning when just the night before y'all posted a TikTok video dancing, and on the Saturday of the weekend prior to everything transpiring, y'all was celebrating your anniversary? So why would a man wake up in the morning, right, and decide to leave the house to go check out with he didn't even talk to you about there was an argument going on. Anybody that's in a relationship know the MO. No man walks out the house and just don't have his keys. Because think about this. A lot of times when men are arguing with women and things are going back and forth, the woman will take the keys. And the guy's like, give me my keys. I'm not giving you your keys. Okay, cool. You know? But the point is, how do we know her story is real? How do we know that tWitch even left the house? For all we know, he was at that motel already. For all we know, she was at the motel. I already showed you the live stream. I already did all the videos. I showed you the layout of the motel. Anybody can pull up in a car and come out and go into his room. Anybody. So the footage of the motel is needed, ladies and gentlemen. Look, I understand a lot of you may side with the narrative and you may believe it for whatever reason. I'm challenging you to think outside the box. If you put together all the clues, this is why an investigator needs to be on the case, because it's clear cut and dry. It's like, wow, where's the footage of the motel? Show us him coming out of the automobile of the Uber, entering the facility so that we can look at it and say, okay, wow, there goes Twitch. He's really going in the motel. They don't even give us that information. Why? Because they're hiding everything. They're hiding it. They don't want us to ask questions and they don't want us to think outside the box. They want us to be like robots and just accept it. Now, look, ladies and gentlemen, if we just accept that Twitch did whatever he did, then that means any other future story that pop up, we're just going to believe it automatically because they trained us into not questioning anything. Right? Show the tapes of Twitch walking into the facility, going to the receptionist desk, getting his card for his door for the room. Show us that information. Who was the Uber driver that was driving the car? Who was the Uber driver? We should have timestamps and dates. They should know who the driver was based on the records of how they pick up different people. He had to pay for that Uber, so there had to be a transaction, which has a timestamp and date. You understand? It is said that Twitch made a call, right, to check to see if the motel had a room available. So with all of these timestamps and everything, why they're not putting this information out there for us? Where's the phone records? Do you know that every phone call on a phone is recorded? Did you know that, ladies and gentlemen? Did you know that phone calls are recorded? That phone calls, every time you make a phone call is recorded, whether you recorded it or not. You understand? Why you think the wife didn't make no phone call to 911? Because she didn't want no record of her voice being anywhere in any database. Because look, if you would have heard her voice, you would have heard the panic, and it would have made all of us question her even more. Because you would have heard how nervous she sound. They said, don't call. Go down to the police station so nobody can know or hear your voice. Because if we had her voice, because look, every 911 call is public information. You can pull it up and you'll get those phone calls. Just like when we had the situation with Kevin Samuels, the late Kevin Samuels. When he passed away, there was a phone call. And we all heard the call. You understand? And we heard the woman that was in the house, in the apartment. She didn't want us to have that type of record because we would have been examining the tape to find out what she said, how she said it, to put the clues together. And this is why whoever is her handler, they told her, go down to the precinct, do not call 911. Now, what wife on this earth would watch her husband walk out early in the morning while the kids is in the house and leave his keys, would leave his car and head on out, and she remain in that house the whole day to the afternoon, to the night, go to sleep and not call nobody for help on regards to where he at? And then in the morning, to add insult to injury, you don't call his folks, you don't call his mom, you don't call anybody in your family, you don't call the police, but you put on your clothes to go down to the police station? Does that sound normal, ladies and gentlemen, under the circumstances? No. She must have been allegedly at the motel, saw what happened, recognized that the job was done, and then drove to the police station after being at the hotel, allegedly, and then let them know. Because the way her story plays out was that she was so nervous and fearful, and she was adamant and just like persistently saying, look, something's wrong with my husband. This is not the way he is, to the point where the cops felt like, hey, we got to go out there and check. And it wasn't even 24 hours yet. So think about that. Let's get back to the video.
I'm not buying it, fam. I'm not buying it. I've seen too many smiling faces.
There you go.
Who turned out to be killers.
Wow.
Too many smiling faces who turned out to be robbers, jackers.
Yep.
Too many smiling faces who turned out to be backstabbers. I'm not buying it.
I'm not either.
And I'll tell you this. That should be what's up with the investigation looking into the insurance policy? What kind of insurance policy did they have?
Insurance policies. What kind of insurance policy did tWitch have? Very good questions, right? Because for all we know, she's cashing in right now. Getting everything set up. And look, ladies and gentlemen, Willie is going to also talk about the house. Under these circumstances, you might see a situation where she's moving. I'm telling you, normally when stuff like this happen, they move from the location. If you see or hear that the wife packed her things with the kids and all of a sudden they got a new house, a new location, I'm telling you, that's a red flag. Because in most instances, you'll want to remain at your house because of the memories you had with your husband, not move. But if you hear about them moving anytime soon, anytime next year within the coming months, you know that this was all planned and plotted. Let's go.
You know, this is Detective 101. You know, investigation 101. Suspect the spouse, check for insurance policies,
right?
The amount. Check to see if the spouse had any kind of relationships with anybody else. If the spouse had some type of affair going on.
Yeah.
We'll see. Let's see how soon she get a new boyfriend, a new hubby.
There you go.
Let's see if she changes her wardrobe.
Now, doesn't that sound like the situation with Tia Mowry? Once she separated from Corey, what did you notice with Tia Mowry? She started to switch up her wardrobe, her clothing, her style. Why? Because she's trying to attract a new man. Right? Let's go.
She buys a new wardrobe, start buying new appliances around the house, buy a bigger house.
There you go, bigger house.
Let's see if she gets some new cars. Let's see how happy she is in the aftermath of losing her best friend.
Right.
On planet Earth.
Right. How could she just go out there and just start living her life so easy after such a loss? Who does that? You know, it takes a while for you to get yourself back together. So it's a red flag for you. And people need to pay attention to that. If you hear about her getting a new home, buying appliances, new wardrobe, or have some new guy, all of a sudden you see her in photos, you have to raise the question and be like, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right here. Something definitely ain't right, fam. But this is what's going on in the world. Let's get back to the video, find out what they got to say.
I'm not buying it, fam. I understand some of y'all are hurting and, you know, that was your guy and y'all love this woman and all that kind of stuff and y'all hate the fact that somebody would even question that. But not trying to offend you, fam, but I got to speak on it. this ain't sitting right with my spirit.
Right.
I absolutely believe that there's more to the story.
There you go.
If that man was not murdered, if he committed suicide, there's still more to this story. A lot more to the story. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts.
There's way more to the story. And this is something that we have to ask ourselves and recognize. There's way more to what's happening here. This is one of the biggest cover-ups. And they did this thing real fast. Notice as soon as Twitch checked out, they came out with the autopsy the next day. Fastest autopsy ever. And the first thing they said is, hey, there was no foul play. What? No foul play? How did you get to that? How do you determine no foul play? It doesn't even make any sense. But this is what they're saying. It's crazy.
I know that a lot of people are still grieving DJ Twitch's death. And he has family and friends who love him dearly, who might be offended about what I'm about to say. Now, it ain't my job to go around trying to offend people. So while I may have empathy for the loss of a loved one, I'm not buying this narrative.
I'm not either.
That they're trying to spin about the manner in which DJ Twitch died. For starters, the wife says he left the house for the first time without taking his car. He never does that. His body is found a mile away at a seedy hotel. This is a rich guy checking into a seedy hotel to allegedly off himself.
Makes no sense.
They find the body the next day, although there was no reports of anyone hearing a gunshot.
Wow.
The maid finds the body, contacts the manager. The manager and the maid says there was no visible sign of blood.
Now that's one of the biggest clues that we have to think about. Because they told us in the first initial story that they checked and they didn't see no signs of blood, nothing. Now, how is that possible? Y'all saw the situation with Takeoff. Y'all saw what they did to him. Y'all saw the scene. Y'all saw what it looked like. So now how could a man delete himself and when people find him in the room, there's no sign of no blood? Come on. Come on, man. Y'all gotta, wow. Listen, for all we know, fam, they made up a whole big lie and they may have taken his body somewhere. They may have allegedly drugged him, took him somewhere, and he may have still been alive. For all we know, again, ladies and gentlemen, you got to think outside the box. Because I don't see how could someone off themselves in a room and you don't see no blood, but you're in the room. Because this is what they said in the first initial stories. You go look it up. They switched the story up like multiple times because they got caught already. They got caught lying. You know, they ain't show us the weapon. Because remember, if he used the weapon, then that would mean it's the family's weapon, which means they would have to return the weapon back to the wife. And here's another key point, ladies and gentlemen. If the wife was so scared that her husband left unexpectedly from the house, then she would question, let me see did he take the gun? You know, every homeowner should own a firearm. So why there's no mention of her, I guess, talking about, you know, officer, he also took his weapon. You don't hear none of that. So why we don't have more information on the weapon that was used. Where did the weapon come from? Was it the family's weapon? You know, why the wife is not talking about this? These are the kind of questions that you ask when something like this happened. But for some reason, the wife was given a pass. She's being protected. And society has accepted that this is what's happening. And they're using what happened to Twitch to say we all need to check in on one another because we're all loose cannons ready to do something to ourselves. This is how sick the world is right now. And also, if you talk about these kind of stories, they think you're crazy. You know what I mean? I get emails from YouTube talking about we're checking in on you. Could you believe that? Even YouTube be gaslighting me. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Because I talk about these stories, I get messages from YouTube, emails, talking about we're checking in on you to make sure everything's okay. If you have any issues, you can call this number and this and that. And I'm like, really? I'm doing a reactionary video about a story, but yet you're sending me emails talking about you're checking in on me. It's crazy. But hear this now. But every other content creator that is talking about the same story, they don't get those kind of emails. Let that make sense. Let's go.
Even though he was reportedly shot in the head. They also didn't see any visible sign of which the authorities said he left that included some ambiguous language about his past challenges. The next day, he dies on December 13th. The next day, December 14th, the wife, Alice, sends a message out over the internet, on social media. And these are her words. It is with the heaviest of hearts that I have to share my husband, Stephen, has left us. Stephen lit up every room he stepped into. He valued family, friends, and community above all else.
He valued family, friends, and a community above all else. Well, if that's true, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm sure that Twitch did value family. I'm sure he did. At the same time, we got to examine and unpack that. If he valued family, if he valued community and friends, then why would he do what they claim he did? It wouldn't make sense. You understand? It wouldn't make any sense. They are making Twitch look like he's crazy, and this is normally what they do to us. They do this to all influential men. This is why you as a community, you have to document things like this. You have to take screenshots, you have to screen record, you have to document things like this. A lot of influential men and women, they always get labeled crazy. They had mental problems, something was wrong with them. This is normally what happened to highly influential people that are teaching truth, that are reaching people with a message to make them smarter individuals. This is what happens, you know? But anyway, let's get back to the program, find out what's going on. Put a 1 in the chat if the stream is running smooth, because, you know, I don't know what's going on. Anytime I'm speaking the truth, I'm seeing weird stuff going on. But put a 1 in the chat if everything is going good and you can hear me good and there's no glitches or anything like that. Let's go.
And leading with love and light was everything to him. He was the backbone of our family, the best husband and father, and an inspiration to his fans. To say he left a legacy would be an understatement.
If he was the backbone of the family, an inspiration to the family, all this other stuff, legacy, why would he do anything to himself? Ladies and gentlemen, they are really trying to create a world where they could just remove any one of us and then use what happened to Twitch and others as the reason why they're gone. Do you understand me? I need for you to understand what I just said. They're making you accept what happened or what allegedly happened to Twitch, so that if anything happened in the future to any other celebrity or anybody for that matter, they could just use the same talking points and you're going to buy it. You're not even going to question. You're going to be like, yeah, that guy was a little crazy. Yeah, he seemed a little loose cannon. Yeah, I believe the story. That's what they're basically doing to us. And it's unfortunate and it's sad. There's a lot of intelligent men and women in today's day that are highly influential, and they don't want them to reach the people with any sort of truth. Ain't no telling what Twitch had in the works, and they basically got him up on out of here. And it's my personal belief that the wife is involved. I don't care how anybody feel about that. I personally believe that the wife is involved in what happened to him, and she's a part of it. And there is no one that can tell me that she's not, because she's displaying the signs of when a person is guilty and they don't want to step into the light. And it's something that you must question. You must question these things so that people can know the truth. It's very important.
And its positive impact will continue to be felt. I am certain there won't be a day that goes by that we won't honor his memory. We ask for privacy during this difficult time for myself and especially for our 3 children. Stephen, we love you, we miss you, and I will always save the last dance for you. Hey, sounds beautiful. But what happened to the police investigating the wife first?
They ain't even do it.
Anytime someone is killed who is married, or even if they're not married, if they're in a relationship, the first suspect is always the surviving spouse.
Always.
Why is there no reports of the police having a conversation with her and saying that, hey, yeah, we're looking into it. Yeah, the wife is a suspect. Now, perhaps she is a suspect. Perhaps they got something going on in the quiet that we don't know about. But this suicide is just too nicely wrapped up and bowed on top.
Because it was given to us by the powers that be. That's why.
It's just too nicely. It just fits too perfectly.
Too perfectly.
There is like no conversation at any point with the wife being shocked that he would do something like this.
Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. How many of you in the chat are dog lovers and cat lovers? With a show of a 1. How many of you are dog lovers and cat lovers? I'm gonna prove something here. I'm gonna prove something, because they really think that we're all crazy. They really take us for fools, right? Okay, now, that being said, how many of you had a dog or a cat that may have got out of the yard and got hit by a car, or you had a cat or something and it got injured and you went crazy? You went wild because your pet meant everything to you. You got up, you ran to your pet, or if you had a dog that passed away or a cat that passed away, how did that make you feel? You got emotional about it, right? Because your cat meant a lot to you. Your cat kept you company at night. Your cat, would sit in your lap and chill. When you weren't feeling right, your cat would come jump on top of your desk and just kind of chill there. Your dog would come in the room and your dog knew when to come near you. And it's like your pet just knew you. And when they passed away or if they got in an accident, it did something to you. Why we don't see that with Twitch's wife? Come on, y'all. Why we don't see that? That's all I'm saying. Why we don't see her showing the emotion that a wife shows when she loses her husband?
I can't believe it. He was such a loving husband and father.
Listen to what Willie is saying. Why the wife ain't saying, well, I can't believe it. I don't understand why this happened. This is not him. He would never do this. But there's no way. He's my husband. We had so many things. There's no way he could have did this. The kids. You don't see that happening. So it makes me question what's really going on. What was really going on in their house?
I don't know what to think. Something's wrong here. I don't think this was a suicide.
Wow.
I don't think it was a
That's crazy.
I think the man was murdered.
He was.
If he did commit, where are the whys?
Wise, yeah.
The wife, the loving wife.
Wow.
Look, fam, I've seen enough of these cases.
To know
that everything that glitter ain't gold.
It ain't.
So often, people, when their marriage is in shambles, when their relationship is in shambles, they take to social media and they put on this big front like everything is okay. Perhaps there's some type of defense mechanism or some type of survival tool they use. But many times, people put on this front like everything is okay. And the whole world is falling down all around them. The walls are closing in. Next thing you know, it's Splitsville.
Yep.
Anytime there is a death and with someone involving someone who is in a relationship, the spouse is always considered a suspect.
Always.
Why isn't anyone considering this woman a suspect?
Wow. And it's like they take us for a fool, ladies and gentlemen. It's like they don't want us to think outside the box, man. You wouldn't believe how much people think I'm nuts just because I'm pushing back on the narrative that was given to us. They think that I should just stay quiet and let the wife mourn when she's not even mourning. She's basically, in my opinion, she seemed like she's not even bothered by this. I'm like, this is crazy. Like, you lost your husband. Like, you're not, like, what's going on? And here's another thing, ladies and gentlemen. Where's the funeral? Where's the funeral? Where's the funeral? Where's the funeral, ladies and gentlemen? Why there is no talks of a funeral? What's going on? Where did they take Twitch? What's really going on here? This is not making any sense. What happened to Twitch? Is he still alive? Is he still alive, possibly, somewhere? And they doing things to this man? There's no funeral. There should have been funeral arrangements already. They already did the autopsy, so like, what are we really waiting for? What's going on? You understand? Listen, Twitch was not broke. People who normally cremate people, they don't got the money. So they just go ahead and do that real quick. You understand? And why would she do that when she got kids? And why would they do that when she has the mother? His mother is alive. You don't think his mother gonna want to go to a funeral? Come on. They need to clean up this mess. They need to make sense of all of this because it's not making any sense to the public.
I'm not buying it, fam. I'm not buying it. I've seen too many smiling faces.
Too many.
Who turned out to be killers. Too many smiling faces who turned out to be robbers and jackers. Too many smiling faces who turned out to be backstabbers. I'm not buying it.
I'm not buying it either because, see, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Family, I tell the folks that view my platform all the time, right? Your family, your initial family, can be some of the worst individuals you have ever met. I know a lot of us, we don't like to talk about our families because we keep everything in-house. But you know what your family is really like. You know about what they've done, what they said, how they do each other, and you're not too proud to talk about that. But even though you may not be too proud to talk about things that go on in your family, just know that you're not the only family. There are a lot of families out here that are just not really all that loving the way we would like to think they are. I'm just letting you know. You'll get more betrayal, backstabbing, lies, slander from your own kinfolk. And you'll receive more love and support from people that are not even your blood family. It's crazy. The world is crazy. So all I'm saying is, when it comes to this situation with Twitch, the wife's supposed to be investigated, questioned by the authorities, and they need to check her phone records, find out who she been calling, who she been talking to, and put the puzzle together. I don't understand why this hasn't been done. Who was Twitch talking to via text, phone calls? Where are those records? What were they doing the day before this happened? Why there are no interviews of the wife talking about, okay, Allison, what was your day like the day before Twitch left the house? What was your day like? There's no talks of that, because normally they'll investigate and be like, well, how was he yesterday? Was he showing any signs of, anything? No, we were having a good time. We were doing TikTok videos. We were dancing. There's no conversations about that. These are normal things that investigators would ask to, give some pushback to see where the wife is, to see if she jumped, to see if she get nervous, to check her body language, to check her temperature, to find out exactly how she's moving. So who's protecting her, and how much are they paying her? And where is Twitch? Where's the body? Listen, where's the funeral, number one? When is it happening? We haven't heard anything. There's no post on Instagram. There's no nothing, nowhere. I haven't heard anything. And also, ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor if you're in the building. If you like the stream, if you appreciate the content, do me a favor and click the like button. Do me that favor. Click the like button, right? Also, being that I'm talking about where's the funeral, you're going to see a lot of videos, and you may have seen videos all over YouTube talking about Twitch's funeral. Do not click on any of those videos. All of those videos are clickbait. I'm just letting you know. Every video that you see on YouTube right now with titles Twitch's funeral, they're all fake videos. A lot of people out here that are doing content about this story, they really do not care about Twitch or anything. They don't care about his justice. They don't care about his family. They don't care about nothing. You understand? All they care about is coming through and just telling you a bunch of damn lies. I can't even count how many videos I've seen on YouTube thus far about, Twitch's funeral. And it starts off where you see a car, one of them cars that carry a hearse, and a following of various other vehicles. And you see this, and then you have some guy coming and talking, and there's nothing about Twitch. These are all clickbaits. See, the reason why I can tell you is because I clicked on these things to find out what's going on. And there's several videos, and they put them all together to deceive you with lies. Don't fall for those videos. Don't fall for it. You understand? Let me see. I gotta give this person a shout out for their support. Major support. Let me see. Maya. I don't normally shout everybody out because it takes away from the stream. But when people really, really, really show some real support, not saying that if any of you support less, that you're less of a person or anything like that. It's just that I already made this rule a few months back that I don't do shout outs during the stream unless somebody supported heavy. So shout out to Maya for your support. You said, Ringo, love and appreciate what you do, brother, your video content, your realism, your values, morals, etc., etc. the amount of respect, love, and compassion you have for the human race. God bless you. You've gained much respect from us all. God bless you and your family, brother. Much love. Appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate that. You know what I mean? Shout out to what is this name? Santino for the 19. To keep doing your thing. Info is on point. I appreciate all your support. All of that goes right back into the work that I do. And in case you may have supported via super chat and I don't shout you out, it doesn't mean that I don't appreciate the fact that you support the stream. It's just that if I stop every minute to shout somebody out, it takes away from the work that I'm doing. So I don't want anyone to feel if I don't shout you out, it's like I'm just ignoring you. Understand that if you support the stream, that means it came from your heart. So if you do something from your heart, right, just know that if my moderators are in the building, they're going to thank you for your support. And normally I always thank everybody at the end of the stream for their support and everything else that goes into the broadcast and the work that we do over here. So again, shout out to Maya for your support, or Mia. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. This situation with Twitch is one of those kind of stories that they're brushing under the rug. And for all we know, the man is possibly alive. Have that ever dawned on you? For all we know, Twitch may still be alive. Think about that. Think about that. We haven't seen not one body, right? There's no funeral. Think about what I'm saying here. You gotta really think about what I'm saying. You gotta really think about it. They showed us no body. There is no funeral arrangements. We haven't seen or heard of any video footage showing him at a motel, right? We don't see the wife going wild and crazy over the loss of her husband. We don't see nothing. So how do we know that Twitch is even gone? He may have been kidnapped for all we know. He may have been abducted for whatever it is he know, and they're trying to get information out of him. Now, wouldn't that be something? Look, even Twitch's immediate family is quiet right now. Do you know, ladies and gentlemen, and I might do a stream on this, do you know his own brother didn't even put nothing up for his own brother? Did you know that? Do you know that? His own brother didn't post anything on social media about his own brother. And it kind of makes me wonder, like, what's going on with this family? Y'all don't got no love? Now, I know in family y'all can have beef and brothers could beef and all of that other stuff, but yo, it's cold. I'm thinking that this brother may have gotten kidnapped. I'm gonna have to probably start pushing that out in the algorithm because this is just not adding up. There ain't no funeral, there ain't no nothing, no photos, no videos. There is nothing that this man even had anything wrong with him. All we got is a story. So, hey, we're gonna talk about this in another video because I'm thinking the guy may have gotten kidnapped or something along those lines.
And I'll tell you this. That should be what's up with the investigation looking into the insurance policy? What kind of insurance policy did they have?
A lot of money. A lot.
This is Detective 101.
You know he had an insurance policy. You know he had. He had about $5 million in the bank. Probably had other assets, sponsorship deals, and royalties that he was probably receiving. And all of that goes towards the wife now.
Investigation 101. Suspect the spouse check the insurance policies, the amount, check to see if the spouse had any kind of relationships with anybody else, if the spouse had some type of affair going on.
Yep. That's another thing, an affair. We're going to have to talk about that. I don't think I talked about that one. We're going to have to talk about that in some other videos. Could it be possible that Allison may have had an affair, allegedly, and wanted out of this marriage so she could start her new thing? You also need to check in to see if money has been transferred from different accounts. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people, they're able to hide their money. A lot of rich cats, they don't even have a savings. They don't even have accounts in their name. All of that stuff be under some sort of LLC, trust, and all that other stuff. And nothing is in their name. So you got to look into those bank records and try to find out if any money is being moved around. Because this woman is quiet. Offshore accounts, there you go. There's a lot of stuff going on down. Hey, man, this world, man. This world ain't what you think it is. It's a crazy place.
We'll see. Let's see how soon she get a new boyfriend.
How soon she get a new boyfriend. Yeah, there you go.
Hubby. Let's see if she changes her wardrobe.
I'm still waiting for her to post something on social media about the husband.
Buys a new wardrobe, start buying new appliances around the house, buy a bigger house.
Yep.
Let's see if she gets some new cars. Let's see how happy she is in the aftermath of losing her best friend.
She's not showing no signs of love at this point for her husband. Again, ladies and gentlemen, when you have love for someone and you've been with them for years and they check out in this manner, you're not just going to be accepting of that. You're going to be making a hell of a lot of noise.
On planet Earth. I'm not buying it, fam. I understand some of y'all are hurting and, that was your guy and y'all love this woman and all that kind of stuff and y'all hate the fact that...
Look, the way I see it, people had more love for Twitch than his wife. Let's just call it what it is. Let's just call it what it is. I'm just saying what it is. I'm just calling it for what it is. Nobody cared about the wife. I'm just speaking it straight up and down. Nobody cared about his wife. Twitch was the one that everybody loved. If anything, people knew about the wife through Twitch. Let's just call it what it is. Twitch is the star. Do you understand me? I don't even know who his wife is. I'm just keeping it 1,000. You know what I mean? With all the things that I've learned thus far about Twitch, he is the star. He was the man. He was the popular guy. He was the guy everybody loved. He was the guy that had everybody lit. He was the guy that did this and did that. You understand? She got connected to him. And it could have been a jealousy thing. It could have been a rivalry thing where it's like, wow, you getting all the praise. Everybody like you, Twitch. What about me? I'm a dancer. What about me? Listen, competitive jealousy is a very dangerous thing. Competitive jealousy will have you competing against somebody and they don't even know you're competing against them, nor do they care. But you take pleasure competing against them because you're insecure. You're insecure. I got a lot of people competing against me right now, and I'm not even wasting my time with them. Like, seriously, some people are just out of their damn mind. But hey, it is what it is. It is what it is, fam. This is how it is in the world. People could be competing against you, right? And you're not even thinking about them. But you know they're competing against you because you could see it. It's like the writing is on the wall. They're like trying to compete and all this other stuff. And I'm like, look, fam, you're just showing that you're insecure. It's like you're showing that you need attention. So it could be a situation where there could have been rivalry in the house between the husband and wife, and we just didn't know about it because remember, we're looking at the smiles, we're looking at the TikToks and the Instagram dancing, And you have to understand, that's time consuming, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, as a content creator, it takes a lot of time to do what you do, and you need rest. So imagine every day posting content on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. That's a lot of time. So every time you saw them in a video dancing, please understand that's like a 1 minute, 3 minute clip. They had to set up their camera and dance for the people. So the whole time they could have been doing this to make you think that they're happy, to make you think that they're together. And the whole time, once that camera cut off, there's an argument. You know, you think you're more popular and you think you're better. Well, I am. I'm Twitch. Everybody love me. Don't get mad because everybody love me and they don't love you the way they love me. Why are you competing with me for? This is why it's very difficult to get into relationships where you're a man and you're into your business and you meet a woman that's in the same field. It could be very, very dangerous, and it can cause y'all to break up because of the competitive nature of the business. She want to be popular, you want to be heard, and the relationship just never worked because rather than y'all building together, y'all competing, which is dumb. Y'all should be building together to get the bag together as a team, not fighting and arguing. But I think there was some rivalry because if you watch their dance videos, you could see how Allison always want to be in the front of the camera while Twitch is in the background. I've seen that a lot. And trust and believe, she watches these videos, and I hope that she's uncomfortable when she watches them. Because at the same time, as a wife, you're supposed to be fighting for your husband's justice right now. You're too comfortable at this point. It's a red flag. It says a lot. I don't see you fighting for him. No public statements, no videos, not expressing your love. I don't see anything that shows a wife that wants justice. You haven't asked to see footage of your husband. You haven't asked about, hey, we need an investigation. This is not my husband. There is no way he would do this. We got kids. There's no way. Hey, police officers, I want an investigation. You didn't do that. It said that the case for Twitch is closed already. The only way they could close the case is if the wife accepted. That's the only way. The case cannot be closed unless the wife gives the green light. You see what I mean? So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to let the brother finish his point.
Somebody would even question that, but not trying to offend you, fam. But I gotta speak on it.
Gotta speak on it.
This ain't sitting right with my spirit.
It's not.
I absolutely believe that there's more to the story.
More to the story, definitely.
If that man was not murdered, if he committed suicide, there's still more to this story. A lot more to the story.
A lot more, fam. They hiding it.
But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.
Again, this came out from the Willie D channel. Right? So, appreciate everybody coming through, supporting the stream. It is what it is. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe today to Ringo TV Reactions. We are the best reactionary channel on YouTube. For commentary, criticism, news reporting, we provide you the best. Subscribe today. Ringo TV Reactions. Ringo TV Reactions, providing you and yours with the best reactionary videos on YouTube, hands down. Subscribe today. Click the notification bell for all to be notified when we go live. Ringo TV Reactions. Yeah! We out, fam. Catch you in the next stream. Peace.
If you like our content, consider supporting via Cash App at $Ringo TV Raw. Become a patron on patreon.com for exclusive video content not shown on YouTube. You could also support through PayPal at paypal.me/RingoTVRaw. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new content. Follow me on Instagram at RingoTVRaw.
This is Ringo TV Reactions, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth 100% raw and uncut.